How to fix locked frame generation in Cronos, the new dawn. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are addressing a highly frustrating issue where the frame generation setting is completely locked out in the settings menu of Cronos, the new dawn. During our recent laboratory testing, we encountered this exact scenario on modern hardware, where ray tracing was accessible but frame generation remained stubbornly grayed out. Our technical team has thoroughly investigated the root cause of this engine behavior. We have developed a comprehensive, step-by-step diagnostic guide to forcefully unlock this feature and maximize your performance. Step 1. The primary DLSS dependency trigger. Our analysis revealed that Cronos, the new dawn, enforces a strict rendering pipeline hierarchy within its settings menu. You must manually enable standard DLSS upscaling before the game engine allows access to the frame generation toggle. Navigate to the graphics options, activate DLSS, and immediately check if the frame generation lock lifts. Step 2. Windows Hardware Accelerated GPU Scheduling. If the setting remains locked after enabling standard DLSS, the Windows operating system is likely restricting GPU memory management. You must enable hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling within your Windows graphics settings. This specific feature allows your graphics card to manage its own memory independently, which is a hard requirement for frame generation technology. Step 3. The System Reboot Protocol. After toggling hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling, a standard game restart is insufficient to apply the kernel-level changes. You must completely restart your computer after confirming the setting modification. Once the system reboots, launch the game again to verify that the frame generation lock has been successfully removed. Step 4. Verifying hardware architecture compatibility. Teknobalta's diagnostics always start with hardware validation, as frame generation relies on highly specialized optical flow accelerators. Ensure that you are operating on a compatible graphics card, such as the Nvidia RTX 4000 or the newer RTX 5000 series architecture. Attempting to force this specific setting on older generations will permanently result in a locked menu state. Step 5. Executing a clean driver installation. Corrupted display drivers frequently misreport GPU capabilities to the game engine. We highly recommend downloading the latest Nvidia Game Ready driver and performing a custom, clean installation. This wipes the legacy registry keys that might be falsely triggering the grayed-out settings menu. Step 6. Disabling VSync in Nvidia Control Panel. Frame generation relies on Nvidia Reflex to manage system latency effectively. However, conflicting VSync settings forced through the Nvidia Control Panel can completely lock out the game's internal frame generation hooks. Open the Control Panel, navigate to Manage 3D Settings, and ensure Vertical Sync is set to use the 3D application setting or turned off entirely. Step 7. Bypassing full-screen optimizations. Windows full-screen optimizations can sometimes interfere with how the game engine handles advanced rendering techniques. Locate the main executable file for Cronos, the new dawn, in your installation directory. Right-click it, go to Properties, navigate to the Compatibility tab, and check the box to disable full-screen optimizations. Step 8. Disabling intrusive overlays. During our testing, we discovered that third-party overlays hooking into the DirectX 12 API can disable advanced rendering toggles, completely shut down the Discord overlay, Nvidia GeForce Experience overlay, and any Riva Tuner Statistics server instances. Relaunch the game with a completely clean overlay environment to test the settings menu. Step 9. Resetting the game configuration file. Sometimes the engine writes a corrupted state to the local configuration file, permanently locking certain visual settings. Navigate to your local app data folder and locate the configuration directory for Cronos, the new dawn. Delete the configuration file to force the engine to generate a fresh, uncorrupted settings profile upon the next launch. Step 10. Verifying game file integrity. A missing or corrupted dynamic link library associated with DLSS can prevent the frame generation toggle from initializing. Open your respective game launcher, whether it is Steam or Epic Games, and run a complete file integrity verification. This process will redownload any compromised engine files required for advanced upscaling. Step 11. Elevating executable permissions. Insufficient read and write permissions can stop the game from communicating with the Windows graphics scheduler. Right-click the game executable and select Run as Administrator to bypass localized permission restrictions. This ensures the game has the highest level of system access required to ping the optical flow accelerator. Step 12. Forcing maximum GPU performance. Aggressive power-saving states can occasionally trick the game into thinking your GPU cannot handle frame generation. Open the Nvidia control panel and navigate to the Power Management Mode setting. Change this value to prefer maximum performance to ensure the GPU maintains adequate clock speeds during the initialization phase. Step 13. Updating Windows to the latest feature build. Hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling and DirectX 12 Ultimate features require a thoroughly updated operating system kernel. Teknobalta recommends checking Windows Update and installing all pending cumulative feature updates. Older builds of Windows 10 or 11 simply do not possess the necessary backend to support frame generation. Step 14. Removing custom launch arguments. If you have previously experimented with custom launch options to boost performance, they might be conflicting with DLSS initialization. Right-click the game in your launcher, access the properties, and completely clear the launch options text box. A vanilla initialization is critical for troubleshooting engine-level feature locks. Step 15. Disabling third-party frame limiters. External frame pacing applications fundamentally break the rendering pipeline that frame generation relies upon to insert interpolated frames. If you are using MSI Afterburner or AMD Chill to cap your frame rate, you must disable them entirely. The game engine must have unrestricted access to the rendering queue to unlock the generation toggles. Step 16. Upgrading motherboard BIOS. In rare cases involving the newest series of GPUs, PCIe bandwidth allocation issues at the motherboard level can restrict advanced features. Check your motherboard manufacturer's website for the absolute latest BIOS revision. Flashing to the newest BIOS ensures flawless communication between the PCIe slot and your graphics processor. Step 17. Disabling multiple monitor setups temporarily. Complex multi-monitor environments running at different refresh rates can cause display API conflicts during game initialization. Disconnect all secondary monitors and launch the game exclusively on your primary gaming display. Check if the frame generation setting becomes available in this simplified rendering environment. Step 18. Reinstalling DirectX runtime libraries. Corrupted DirectX 12 libraries are a common culprit for grayed-out visual settings in modern Unreal Engine titles. Download the DirectX end-user runtime web installer directly from Microsoft's official portal. Run the installation to patch over any missing or damaged core rendering files on your system. Step 19. Flushing the Direct 3D shader cache. An outdated or corrupted shader cache can prevent the graphics API from correctly identifying supported features. Use the Windows Disk Cleanup tool, select your primary operating system drive, and check the box to clear the DirectX shader cache. This forces the game to compile a fresh set of instructions upon the next launch. Step 20. Rebuilding the Nvidia DX cache. If the standard Windows utility fails, you must manually clear the proprietary Nvidia cache directories. Navigate to your local app data folder, find the Nvidia directory, and empty the DX cache and GL cache folders completely. This deep-level clean ensures absolutely no legacy rendering data is interfering with the game's settings menu. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.